Apparently, while the College Football Playoff Committee and all the conversation about a 12-team playoff is out there, and apparently there's a new television contract that's coming around the college football playoff. And I'm telling you, this is the part of the college football world. This is the spot from which the Super League is going to be formed, because all the teams and all the conferences that are eligible to appear in the college football playoffs, those are the ones who have the similar issues financially and NIL and transfer portal and scheduling problems. Those are the ones that are closest together in needing to want to come up with a singular construct to handle all the issues that coaches may be having and administrators may be having. And Jay Billis doesn't have. He just sign them to contracts tomorrow. Let them unionize, sign them to contracts, make them employees, and go to work, because that's the way it's going to have to be one day. So face it now. That's the conversation we had with Jay on the show Tuesday. But at any rate, I'm telling you, the college football playoffs is going to be the spot. Someone's going to be a commissioner of that, and from this, we'll form the Super League and maybe have a certain number of teams that come up with the right construct and the rules and regulations and things of that nature to make everybody play on the same level field. And from there, you're going to figure out maybe the institution gets better players because of facilities or, wait for it. I can't believe I'm saying this. Academics?
Hey. Student athletes.
So keep that in mind as we now talk about how Tony Petitti was saying, hey, maybe, just maybe, the better system is going to be 14 teams. There were even apparently talked 16 teams. Everybody who was involved in this conversation yesterday, from commissioners and everyone else, started telling everybody outside of the room that it was one of the most productive meetings they've had in a while. Mm-hmm. So 14 teams better than 12 in their minds. 16 teams might be as well. No one would get a bye in that situation. And I think they would like to have something, the regular season leading to conference championship weekend, where something is on the line more than just who seeded one, that there's a bye week involved, and then there's home playoff games involved. So I think they want to keep something on the line. And then obviously, if they are creating a new television contract just for the college football playoffs, and based off of that might be cascading money down towards, heaven forbid, getting rid of these collectives and the NIL business, get some guardrails on it. You would have me at hello. Certainly, if you're going to have a college football playoff season go 13, 14, 15 games, Michigan, first ever 15-0 team in the history of the Big Ten, I might add. Just one of the many other accomplishments. At any rate, it's a whole long wind up to this pitch. We put together what a 14-team playoff field would look like based on the final college football playoff rankings that were out there, placed out there after conference championship weekend, and they set the college football playoff field. And they did have everyone ranked. As a matter of fact, they did the full-on rankings, 1 through, let me get this correct. I have the piece of paper buried. I should have it out. 1 down to 25. So we took the top 14. There it is. And the 2 teams top seeds got first-round byes, because that's the way it's going to be. You'd have to have, it's like the NFL playoffs.
Right.
14 teams make it. 7 on each conference make it. And in the NFL, with the top 2 getting seeds, while 3 wild card games are played, and then you wind up getting it down to just 4 teams and then 2 teams and then a Super Bowl. So this would basically be like an NFL playoff system. And so the top 2 seeds would be Michigan and Washington. And this is what it would look like. The 3-seed Texas Longhorns would take on the 14-seed Arizona Wildcats. How about this? Because we've split it up into 2 different brackets here, 2 different sides of the brackets. we put the 6 and 11, the 6-11 and 7-10 games on the same side of the bracket as well. This, by the way, would be something else. They're 2 conference games. Georgia hosting Mississippi and the Ohio State hosting Penn State. And I imagine Penn State would actually try to scratch out a touchdown that's time around against Ohio State.
Maybe.
And then you've got another SEC game. How about Alabama hosting LSU? Try that one on for size.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Florida State was the 5 seed, if you recall. They didn't make the college football playoffs this year. They take on 12th seeded Oklahoma. And then Oregon would take on Missouri.
Fun.
And now the only question would be, do you reseed it like the NFL? I would. I absolutely would. So Michigan would take on the lowest remaining seed. And Washington would take on the lowest remaining seed. And this is the way I would do it too, because I would want to separate as many of the rivalries as you possibly can, I'd imagine. I would want to have Alabama and Georgia in separate sides of the bracket, so they'd meet in the final. And I'd want to have Ohio State and Michigan on the separate side of the bracket, so they'd meet in the final, right? Washington, Oregon, you got to have them separated because they've already played twice, right?
Texas, Oklahoma, et cetera.
Right. Texas, Oklahoma on separate sides of the bracket.
So you manipulating these brackets now?
Of course you do. That's what these guys do and ladies do in the meeting rooms.
Yeah, it's a TV show.
That's what they absolutely do for the both men's and women's hoops tournaments, don't they? That's part of it. Where they look ahead and see what the 1 seeds would look like against the 2 seeds and what that would look like, for sure. What's wrong with this? Right? You just have 2 fewer teams have buys. We're going to get 12. We're going to get 12-team playoffs over the next 2 years just to get us used to it. And I bet you, again, if they do a 14 or a 16-team bracket, it starts in 2026.
You could do 16. You could just have the top 4 have buys.
I guess you could.
Then we'll look exactly the same as this. With the 12 teams playing the opening round. Yeah.
I guess you could. Same thing. Just 2 more teams have buys, and then, I guess.
But are we getting rid of the bowls? Because we're getting in like 16, 17, 18 games now.
You're never going to get rid of the bowls. There's still going to be some people who want to hold these things.
So we're going to slap a bowl on one of these early round games then?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You could.
All right.
The bowl season this year, the so-called most wonderful time of the year that was on ESPN, was non-existent this year. It really was.
No buzz. Yeah, no buzz.
No.
Not even from you gambling honks, right?
No, I wasn't into it at all, really.
So you might as well just take those bowls, slap them on some of these games, and let the people with their gaudy jackets have their day. Maybe have a parade. Give out free stuff.
Ooh, love free stuff.
Have a Pop-Tart pop out of a toaster.
Ooh.
You know?
The Pop-Tart bowl.
Cinnamon. Just no more chest passes, please, on the Dr. Pepper thing.
So that's the way it would look. Yeah. Oh, by the way.
Oh.
That's right out.
That's gone.
Banned.
First thing if I'm in charge.
See you.
You got to take the ball and throw it like a football. One-handed throws.
What are we doing?
What are we doing? Great question.
Thank you.
So, you're welcome. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.